If you're like me, you've seen Paw Patrol before, and if you don't know what it is, go ahead and Google it. I'm not here to tell you what I know about the show, but I am here to tell you all this. Have you ever noticed that the Paw Patrol pups, Marshall, Zuma, Rubble, Sky, Rocky, Chase, and Everest, all can talk, but the other animals like Kali and Bettina can't? I came up with a solution. The 7 Paw Patrol pups are humans trapped in a dog's body. To further expand my thought on solution, think about this. The pups drive vehicles designated for their spots in the team, something that a human would often do. They're never caught by animal control officers, and they're allowed in Mr. Porter's restaurant, a place where no animal is allowed to set paw inside of. My name is not important. What is important, however, is my discovery. I'm 17 years old and an avid watcher of Paw Patrol. I record all the episodes, buy merchandise. Hell, I even started a Paw Patrol IM group chat. But I'm getting off topic here. As I watched the first episode of Paw Patrol, Pups and the Kitty-tastrophe, I quickly noted that the Paw Patrol pups could talk. But in later episodes of the series, I noticed that the other animal characters couldn't. If they had been the Paw Patrol pups, if the pups like them could talk, surely they would have done the same for Kali, Chicolita, Mandy, and the others. So I began thinking, there may have been an explanation for why the Paw Patrol pups could talk. And then it hit me. They must be humans stuck in a dog's body. It was the only explanation. You must be wondering to yourself, how in the world was that even possible? The pups that came to be the Paw Patrol weren't at the team at first. They were just 7 stray pups on the loose, seeking shelter at a nearby mental institution on a stormy night. The pups encountered a madman lunatic on the brink of insanity. Said man wore nothing but a ceremonial white robe. He recently lured several human children away from their homes, whereupon bringing the pups into his lair on the top floor of the building, consisting of scientific machines and concoctions of his creations, gave the children an unusual mysterious liquid and told them to drink it. The children had no choice but to drink it, and when they did, they stated that the room spun around before they lost consciousness, making the pups yelp in fear. The 7 pups hid in fear, but the insane man lured them in with dog biscuits laced with chloroform. The pups all lost consciousness after the aroma of the doggy biscuits got into their nostrils. Hooking the children and the pups to a machine, that looks like some kind of weird mind-switching machine, the insane man did his final deed. He set the controls of the switch to the children's brains with the pups. He had been doing this for quite some time, and to this day, he hadn't been caught by the police. Turning on the mechanism, it had been said that the 7 children and pups screamed a blood-curdling scream, as if they were given a severe electrical shock as the brain-swapping machine was activated. When it was all done, the 7 children and pups were all quiet, until the pups fluttered their eyes open. Looking at the man in unison, they said, "What was that for? What gave you the idea to do this to us?" The man replied to the pups, running to the window and said, "If anyone asks, tell him I'm insane." He then took a few steps back before racing to the window and jumping out to his unexpected and bloody death. The pups all unhooked themselves from the machine and raced outside in the falling rain into the corpse, and howled up at the sky. Afterwards, they saw the name of the mysterious man, Zack Ryder. I did remember reading that Ryder, the leader of Paw Patrol's parents, didn't really show up that much in the series, if at all. Maybe this is why. Maybe this is why Ryder was happy all the time. He didn't want to be reminded that his father had committed suicide after an insane experiment. First, I found out that the Paw Patrols are humans stuck in a dog's body, and now I found out that Ryder's happy, quote-unquote, hiding is the fact of his dad's suicide? What about the children? Were they still alive, knowing that they've had dog brains now? Or had they been put down? But let's save that story for another day. You may never know what kind of dark secrets you may find in a cartoon. You just may never truly know. And that, my little shadows, was Pups and the Experiments, a Paw Patrol theory creepypasta. My final thoughts on the story? Well, yet another one of these creepypastas that honestly should have been rebooted, yet I never got the opportunity to reboot it because, honestly, I couldn't even remotely find the story itself. But overall, though, I'm glad I did. So, this is pretty much the reboot of what you guys are enjoying right now. But getting back to my review, My final thoughts on the story are, it's a good theory, but at the same time, though, there are a little bit of inconsistencies to this. And even though I'm not really a huge fan of Paw Patrol, in fact, I don't even really care for it too much, I'm going to address a couple of the issues with the story. And I get it that this was probably written at least before Everest and Tracker and, like, Sweetie and others, like, were, introduced. I mean, so maybe I really shouldn't count it, but I'm going to anyway. For one, if it's only those 7 pups that could, talk and everything, then what about Everest? What about Tracker? What about, what about Sweetie? I mean, granted, the story does say that the mad scientist that worked in the insane asylum, he himself, had done this before. So maybe he did wind up experimenting on all those other characters, and honestly was just trying to find one way or another to, I don't know, make them talk, and it worked. But even on that matter, though, it was still rather, I don't know. I really don't know what to say. It's kind of hard. But I think another issue that I do have with this entire story, too, is the fact of the matter that, after he does that, he jumps out of a window and kills himself, the Zack Ryder, as he's called. And, it's kind of confusing. If he's done this kind of thing before, why didn't he do it beforehand? That's my question. Why is it was only those 7 pups, afterwards that, he finally jumped out of the fucking window? And more importantly, why did he jump out of the window? Because he was crazy? Did he not want to get caught by the cops? It'd be one thing if, like, the cops and everything, were making their way there, but in the story it says that never happened. He was never caught by the cops, because the cops never were showing up. If anything, he could have easily just kept on doing what he was doing, and that would have had a bit more of a better explanation for why exactly he, why Sweetie and the others are the way that they are as well. Could have been a good explanation. Instead of him just falling down to his death. But then again, maybe I'm nitpicking. Overall, though, I do find this story to be relatively decent. It's an interesting theory, and I like it a lot. And there really aren't that many Paw Patrol theories out there that are actually good. And this is one of them that I can say definitely, hits that mark. Now, my final rating of this story would have to be 8 out of 10. I enjoyed the theory a lot. I did find a couple of inconsistencies with it, which I guess I really shouldn't be putting against the story because of the fact that it happened later on in the series. But then again, though, it still kind of needed to be counted down because it still didn't particularly explain everything. And the whole thing with, the guy killing himself in the end just really kind of didn't make a whole lot of sense. But even on that matter, though, it still deserved the rating that it got. It was still a good story, and I personally enjoyed it. So, what did you guys personally think about this creepypasta? Did you find it good? Did you find it bad? Also, what would you have personally done to make this story a lot better? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. I'm the Shadow Reader. Thank you again for watching today's episode. I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you're new here. I make brand new videos every single day. And with that, I'm the Shadow Reader. Thanks again. And like always, roll the outro.